So what I want to talk about right now is the zoom tool in AutoCAD. And you've already had a little bit of experience with the zoom tool. You know that if you position the cursor on the screen and you roll the wheel away from you, you will zoom into the drawing at the location of the cursor. So because I put my cursor on this corner fireplace, when I zoom in, I'm zooming into the fireplace. When I roll the wheel toward me, I'm zooming out. I put the cursor over here in front of this Roman tub, and I roll in, and of course I'm rolling in to that Roman tub. So you have a little bit of experience with zooming, and of course with panning, and this allows us to move around the drawing and see the things we need to see and interact with the entities that are on the screen. I want to talk about zoom though, because zoom is very powerful, but also has a lot of options. So while you can always use the wheel mouse to do the zooming, you should know that there is a command called zoom. And you can hit zoom on the command line, and that will start the command. You can also type Z for zoom. That's a shortcut. And then regardless of what you do, you've got a number of options down here in the command line. So what do these things do? Well, let's start with the first one. Zoom all. Zoom all, if you click on the all button, or if you type A and enter, because A is the capitalized letter in all. Well, zoom all zooms you out to see everything that you've drawn. Okay, so if we are zoomed way in, need to see everything. Z enter, A enter, zoom all brings us out. Or even better, if we are lost, like I'm zooming here into the middle of outer space and I can't see anything I drew, I'm totally lost. Well, hitting Z, enter, A, enter, zoom all will bring everything back centered on the screen. Double click the wheel is also a way to zoom all. So I just was over here in the bathroom, double click the wheel, click, click. That gives me a zoom all. C is for zoom. W or window allows you to draw a little square and then zoom into just that square. I'll do that again. Zoom, window, click, click on the screen, drawing a rectangle, allows you to zoom in. Right, and every time you invoke the command, it remembers the last option. All right, the last option is going to be the one that we just used. Now, zooming around, you're going to notice some stuff on the screen too. Sometimes things degrade. The image degrades, which means this lavatory sink, which was a nice smooth arc, now looks kind of jagged. And even the toilet here, it looks like it's made out of a bunch of line segments instead of an ellipse. The arc of the door looks like 3 straight line segments instead of a quarter of a circle. So when we see this stuff on the screen, what you want to do is type RE. RE is a regenerate, and that will make the arcs and the curves look smooth again. Okay, AutoCAD, gotta remember it came out in 1982. Back then, RAM and memory were expensive and rare. So it does that to save a little bit of memory. Because technically, on a circle, how many edges does a circle have? Well, you know, it has an infinite number of edges or points that make up the edge, but no computer is going to be able to manage an infinite number of anything. So we get this visual approximation on the screen. Even if it looks ratty on the screen, it will always print out nice and smooth and beautiful. So refreshing the screen is for you, has nothing to do with the final printout. Z for zoom. O for object, or click on object, and then whatever object you click on, after you hit enter, you'll zoom into that object. Okay, and then Z for zoom. Previous, P is for previous, that brings you back to your most recent zoom. So if I was zoomed into the fireplace, over here, and then I zoom all, and then I zoom previous, it's going to bring us back to what we were just looking at, the fireplace. Last one we're going to look at is zoom real time. You see that's the option that comes up by default. So if you hit enter, you'll see a magnifying glass on the screen. Hold down the left click and then move the cursor toward you move the mouse toward you, you're zooming out very slowly. It's fine control. If you hold down the left click and push the cursor away from you, or the mouse away from you, you're zooming in very fine. And why is that important? Well, when you use the wheel, you jump. Watch this. Jump. 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 Makes large jumps. But using the real-time zoom allows you to zoom in with a much higher level of control about exactly how far zoomed in you are. Z for zoom. A for all. Keep in mind too that most of these options are going to be right here on the navigation bar, and the zoom tools are right here. So zoom extents is more or less the same idea as zoom all. If I am zoomed into here and I click on zoom extents, that'll show me the extents of the drawing. There's a black arrow underneath it that gives us all the different zoom options we just talked about. Zoom window, zoom object, zoom in, zoom out. And the nav tools here were created for working on a tablet or a touch screen because people wouldn't generally use a mouse with those things. Zoom all. Alright, so this is our discussion on how to get a little bit more function out of the zoom tool and what it's capable of.